Jolly good day and hello, I'm Meg. Welcome back to my channel. This is Simeji's TV Land, episode 3, and today we will be doing Friends. Now, we're not going to be doing all of them, we're just going to be doing the girls, because obviously episode 4 is going to be bold, and that's when we'll be doing Rachel and Monica's apartment. So we're going to be making Rachel and Monica today, and that just felt like it wasn't quite enough, so I threw Phoebe in there as well. So we'll be doing Rachel, then Monica, then Phoebe. Cool. Well, let's get into it, I guess. So I've already made their bases because I don't want to bore you with the very, very many hours I spent actually creating their faces, and trust me, it was a process. So we're just going to get into the kind of CC part of it, as this is a CC haul after all. Ha! That rhymed. Did you hear that? Cool. So starting with the eyebrows, I want to do kind of this sleek sort of arched brow, and then her skin's a little bit darker, so we just heightened up that tone of it. And then obviously we have to do an overlay. I actually got this overlay quite recently, so I'm obviously still in the honeymoon phase of it and still a little bit obsessed with it, and it's my favorite and it matches her quite well. And then for eyelashes, I think we do Twisted Cat, which is like not fully alpha, and it's not fully Maxie's match. It doesn't have the cons of both, you know, so it works really well. Then we want to go to her eyes, which is like quite a strong blue, but she's got very small pupils, so we've got to be careful there. And quite a lot of hair options to go through, because she had different hairstyles throughout the season, but I think this kind of like I don't know, lengthy, voluminous hairstyle is kind of the way to go. Then I didn't add in a bit of tint, right? Because she kind of has like highlights. Maybe it's lowlights, honestly. I'm trying to remember here. It's been quite a while since I've watched the show. But I do remember it being like semi-blonde, semi-brunette. And then get her some eyeshadow and some eyeliner. Then we've got some lipstick. So I wanted to do the lip overlay first, but then I remembered this Tatty? I don't know. That's like one of my favorite lipsticks that I always tend to use, because it's got every color you need and the colors are always good. And then just some blush, and for her necklace I'm thinking like choker, but it's not like full on choker. It's kind of like a bit of a diamondy chain vibe. I don't know much about jewelry. All I know is that looks like the choker she wore in the show. That's the one I'm gonna go with. Then I'm not really like crazy about her eyes yet, so I just want to see if we can find a better color that suits her, like matches her original. I think that works. Then let's get into her clothes. So she wears a lot of scarves, so there's either like this option, which is her black skirt, and she wore this black skirt a lot. But I was considering maybe we should do like a little bit of a plaid moment. That's also very Rachel, and you want to do stockings with it, but finding a skirt is probably our biggest mission here. That actually works pretty well. I think we'll go with that one. Then I'm just gonna add some stockings. So I've got these ones with a kind of seam in the front that I always love using. I mean, I don't have a lot of stocking CC, but I think it's because this one just kind of fulfills my needs. And then Rachel's go-to shoe is definitely a boot. Ooh, but not a cowboy boot. It's not. She's not going to the farm. Yee-haw! No, we'll do the black boot, definitely. Just gotta find the right one. Oh, actually, I think that could be the one. Well, let's stick with that one. Then for her top, she does a lot of crop tops, but this top for some reason just like screams Rachel to me. I don't know why. Every time I see it, I actually think of her. This green one's also really nice. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do here. Maybe like a bit of a over the shoulder moment. Oh, you know what? I think this is it. That feels very Rachel. So we still got the top that I've always kind of seen her in, but we just add a bit of sleevage to it. Is that a word, sleevage? I don't know, it is now. And then we just gotta bring our height down, which is one of my favorite sliders. Is actually the height slider by Lumia, I think, because some of these shoes do be high and you don't want her to like walk around crazy looking. So I just made her with shoulder, and then we need a little black handbag, which this over-the-shoulder bag makes the most sense. Look at her! OMG, she's perfect! Round of applause for Rachel. Let's do a quick twirl. Quick twirl. There we go. That 360 is popping off. Then next up, we've got Monica. Monica has to be like one of my favorite characters. Like I said, it's been a while, but I definitely remember her as just the most neurotic and therefore relatable character in the show. I could be wrong though. I could completely misremember it, but I remember like really relating to Monica out of all the characters. So let's get her a nice skin. I do like Poppy Seed. It does match her really well. Maybe some nose shaders, because she does have quite an interesting, like a skinny nose, but it's got a lot of shadows on the side. So nose shader's good. And then some cheekage. Oh, here we go again. Remember last time? Cheekage. Basically, you want to give her cheekbones, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. She's a skinny bitch, so we need to get some cheekbones. This is like the most 90s lipstick you could possibly get, which makes it perfect for this. But I just wanted to say, I'm kind of obsessed with this lipstick. So there we go. And then a cat eye, just to make her look a bit more Monica-ish. And some eyeshadow. She don't have like too heavy on the eyeshadow, you know, because I don't feel like she's a big makeup wearer, but that fits her quite well. And then for hair, this hair looks, I mean, they all kind of look like her. Again, she's had so many hairstyles throughout the season. I feel like Phoebe might be the only one whose hair stayed relatively consistent throughout, right? But she does have, I'm obsessed with like her tied up hair when she always does like a loose bun or it's a little bit messy. I think that's what we're gonna do. Baby, we've got some tiny earrings. I was thinking like pearls. I don't know why. I just feel like she's big on pearls. Kind of suits her. I want to go like loose pearls. I think I want to go like tight choker pearls. So we'll go with these. And then just by me, just making her a bit more, you know, giving her some boobage, if you will. And then when it got a niece, you have a red shirt, a red dress. I don't care, it needs to be red, okay? The point is, red is her color. Like if you even if you like haven't watched the show in a while or you've only seen clips on TikTok of it, I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to this. Monica wore red a lot. Just like it feels like Rachel wore green a lot. I don't know if she did, but it just feels that way, okay? So we're going with red. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just not sure what top to go with. This is kind of cute, but I do hate what's going on the button. And then I do want to give her jeans, so I'm thinking these ones, but they are with like flary out teeth, flary out teeth, and they do flare out a bit. Okay, and then sneakers. Obviously she lived in sneakers. Have you seen the pictures? I was kind of like hanging out on Pinterest just to see the outfits, obviously, but yeah, she wore a lot of sneakers. I also wear a lot of sneakers, so again can relate to her as a character. This is kind of cute. I like this outfit. I don't know if I love this outfit, but I like this outfit. I think we need to change the shirt. Yeah, I think we need to change the shirt. Okay, let's see. This is kind of cool. Very her. Quite casual. Matches her hair really well. I think this feels like it was an actual episode at some point. If you recognize it, let me know in the comments. And then maybe like dark jeans. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just gonna get her some nails. Can't go out without your nails did, girl. That's cute. Oh, wait. Why is she not wearing... I guess I'll get to that. Let's just get her. Just try a few more shots, you know? You never know, you know? We'll go... I can't decide. This is actually really tough. That's kind of cute. It's all really like jarringly red. I don't like that either. Oh, you know what? I think this is the one. That's the one. If you could just bring the color down a bit, because I'm afraid it's so red. It's crazy, dude. Oh, I remember this top actually. And then we go with something like that. That's cute. Are you kidding me? Love me. Let's see. You know how like her hair wasn't like super black? I think we need about a bit more brown black. That might work. Okay, that's cute. I like it. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. It's very cute. Okay, let's just make her a bit shorter as well. She was pretty short in the show. Anyway, so, but these shoes are also, they also lift your sim up a bit, so I do want to make sure that she's not standing out above everyone. Oh, she's got socks on, which is so much better. Remember to wear socks with your shoes, kids. Don't be gross. Okay, I love that. On to Phoebe. What to do, girl? Phoebe's like one of those characters that it's like every show kind of finds a way to work in a Phoebe. You know, there's always going to be the quirky character, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot of quirky characters in real life, but I always find it interesting that there's always a stereotype to the quirky girl, you know? Which I don't know if I love that, but let's not get into TV show politics, I guess. Let's just look at some eyelashes. That's very cute. Again, like, these twisted cap eyelashes are just the best if you want to go like half alpha, half maxi smash. And I ironically got these eyes, those like Frames eyes, when I downloaded some CC. So I'm actually just going to use them for Phoebe because they work, and because she's got such a like unique green, I think is the only one that's actually going to do it justice. And then her nose is probably one of the hardest things to make, like recreate in The Sims. So I did work on that quite a few times, but managed to get it right at the end. And then I had to give her some laugh lines. Do you call it laugh lines if it's above your mouth and like next to your nose? I don't know, age lines maybe. But anyway, it just kind of added to making her look more like Phoebe. Then obviously the base part's the hair. We have so many options because her hair was just always like long and blonde, sometimes curly, mostly straight, sometimes a little bit weird, but it was always blonde and long, so that definitely narrows it down a bit, you would think. But also I do have a lot of long straight hair that I've downloaded over the years, so you never know. I think this one works the best, actually. I like how it goes up a little bit at the front before it goes down. Then I think I'm gonna just like, I don't actually add highlights, but I thought maybe just add a little bit of extra color to it. It doesn't look exactly right, but probably as close as we're gonna get. Then a little bit of blush. I do like this Blossom blush. It's quite subtle, but it's still very pretty. And then back to the 90s lipstick. I don't know if that's gonna work for her, so maybe she's got a little bit of gloss on her lips. I think most of the time she had that, so I want to get that glossiness through. And then her eyeshadow is also quite natural, so I don't want to go too overboard. Maybe something like that, and just a little bit of eyeliner to really bring it all together. I just want to see if there's any like skin details we could add. What are we gonna put on our neck? It has to be something like it's weird. I don't know if I want to do the cherries. I've actually noticed she has a lot of like, well, there we go. This was actually the perfect one, and I've seen this exact one on her. I also kind of wish I had one of these in real life. Just putting it out there. I'm kind of obsessed with like the bow tie string choker vibe. And then for her outfit, and she obviously needs to wear a skirt. There's no way around that. She's not going to get away with wearing pants. It's not happening. Maybe something like this is quite nice. Yeah, I actually like that. I think that works. And then she also kind of wore like boots. She never really wore sneakers. Maybe it was more sandals. I can't remember. But I keep thinking of like her winter outfits, which is always my favorite. So I think we should go with a bit of a boot. The only question is which one. Oh, that one could work, but brown, please. There we go. That looks cool. Very Phoebe. Now for a top, I don't know. We've got so many options. It's just about choosing the best one. That's a bit meh. Very bland. Or we could do better. Oh, that's quite nice. That's real nice. I love that. That suits her really well. Actually, I'm a little bit in love with that. Go Phoebe. I wonder if we should give her a bag. Yeah, let's give her a bag. Where else is she gonna keep her smelly cat? Smelly cat, smelly cat. So that's that for Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, and that's my Friends episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. We will be doing Monica and Rachel's apartment for the next episode, so definitely subscribe and stick around if you want to see that. I'm really enjoying the series so far. I hope you are too. I can't wait for the next episode. Okay, bye.